Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about the factors which affect refractive index of the medium. So refractive index of the medium depends upon number one, the medium's nature. So we know that when light slows down in a medium, we call that medium as denser medium. So denser medium have got more refractive index than the other mediums. So speed of light, if we know if it is going slow, then the medium will have more absolute refractive index. Second condition is temperature. Now physical conditions such as temperature, it also varies the refractive index. When we increase the temperature, the speed of light in that medium also increases. So the refractive index decreases due to increase in speed of light. Third factor is color or wavelength of light. As we know that red has got the maximum wavelength out of all the colors of Vibgyor. And we also know that when we draw the spectrum or when we draw Vibgyor, when white light passes through a prism, then red is at the highest position. Red is at the highest position. I'll show you that. This is the case. So we know that red bends the least while going from glass to air. It disperses, this deviation is the least, and violet has got the maximum deviation. There also I told that violet deviates the most. Why? Because violet slows down as compared to red. Its speed is very much less. So as you have seen that violet speed is the least, it means that for violet the refractive index is the maximum. So we can say that for the lesser wavelengths the refractive index is more. So less the wavelength, more is the refractive index. So refractive index for violet is greater than that of red. Now we will discuss the principle of reversibility of light. In the last video we have already studied this relation. This relation comes out due to this principle which states that the path of light ray is always reversible. It means that if somehow we allow this light to trace its path in the second medium, how can we do that? We may fix a plane mirror over there and we make some arrangement that this refracted ray falls normally on this plane mirror, then it will be reflected in the same path, and according to the principle of reversibility it will retrace its path. So we will apply the Snell's law, that is mu21 is equal to sin I upon sin R. In the first case we will apply it when light travels from first medium to second medium, and when it goes back from second to first medium, then what happens? Now we may take light as incident from second medium to first. So the angle of incidence will be R now and angle of refraction will be I. So Snell's law in that case will become sin R upon sin I, and because the second medium is the one number medium now, so we will write mu12 here. So both these equations, equation number 1 which was sin I upon sin R, equation number 2 which is sin R upon sin I, we can multiply these equations, left hand sides also and right hand sides also, because these are the inverse ratios. These will cancel out, giving the answer 1, and we'll get this result. Next topic is experimental verification of laws of refraction. Obviously we will be showing you the demonstration of this experiment, and let us talk about the result. What happens when light passes through a glass block? So for this you have to learn this diagram. I am going to tell you a little bit how we do this experiment. So this diagram you should learn thoroughly and you should draw it. You have already done it in your previous classes also. So let us talk about this. We'll keep a glass block on a sheet of paper and draw its boundary. After that we'll remove that glass block, fix a point, choose a point. At that point we will draw a normal as well as our incident ray, choosing some angle of incidence. After that we'll fix 2 pins on any 2 points chosen by us on this incident ray and keep the glass block again on the paper. Then we will see these pins through the glass block from the other edge. And what we will find that these 2 pins are seen somewhere over here when we watch them, when we look them through the glass slab. Now looking at the images, these are actually the images of these pins which are appearing here due to refraction of light through the glass block. Then looking at these images of these two pins, we will fix two more pins such that these two pins as well as these images, they are in a straight line. Then we will remove these pins, mark their footprints, and then we will join these marks, and we'll find that when we produce this line, it will also strike this surface, this line at some point. Now this is our point of emergence. This line will be emergent ray. Again we'll remove the glass block, join these 2 points. This will be our refracted ray. So this diagram is complete. Now we have to draw actually a normal over here, and this will be the angle of emergence. So our labeled diagram will look like this: incidence angle, first refraction, second refraction, first normal, second normal. Then you may label this rectangle also. Then you should draw the incident line, incident rays direction dotted forward, and these lines should be parallel. If you are not getting a parallel lines, then it means that positions of your two pins is not correct. So the parallel lines shows that the light ray coming from this direction, it has got laterally displaced, and the perpendicular distance between these two parallel rays is called lateral displacement. So you should mark the definition of lateral displacement here. The perpendicular distance between the path of the emergent ray and the direction of the incident ray is called lateral displacement. And there are some factors on which it depends. Number one is thickness. More the thickness of the glass block, more will be the lateral displacement. Angle of incidence, again direct dependence. More the angle of incidence, more will be the lateral displacement. And the last is refractive index of the glass. So refractive index means more the refractive index, more will be the lateral displacement. And because the same glass will offer different refractive index to different colors of light, to different wavelengths of light, so lateral displacement will be more for violet color than for red color. So that's it for section A. Next topic is not in your syllabus, you may leave that. Again, now we have examples, so we'll discuss these examples in this video. Number one, a ray of light bends while passing from one transparent medium to the other medium having a different refractive index. Name the phenomena. So you know the phenomena now. Refraction. Give a reason for it. Reason also you know. So actually you should solve all these examples yourself while after reading the whole theory of section A. So give reason for it is, reason is the change in speed of light while traveling from one medium to another. How do the following quantities change? You know that speed, when the medium is denser, the speed will decrease. Wavelength will also decrease. Frequency does not change. Amplitude will also decrease because amplitude is directly proportional to the energy traveling. Now energy is somewhat lost due to the partial reflection. So that's why in the medium the amplitude decreases. And all these because the second medium is denser, they have told it. State whether the ray of light will bend or not if both the media have same refractive index. So this is a condition of undeviation of light, so that's why we will write no, the ray will not bend. Again the similar question on bending of light has come. A ray of light falling normally, so this is a second condition when the light goes undeviated. So he is asking you to draw the diagram showing the path of the ray till it emerges out of the glass slab, and what is the angle of incidence, angle of refraction at each surface of the slab, that is 0, 0 both. Next type of question is asked about the refractive index. For any refractive index it can be asked. The refractive index of water is 4/3. What do you mean by the statement? Now refractive index is C/V. Now from this relation you get to know that V is equals to C/mu, right? So velocity of light in that medium will get divided by refractive index, or you may say that the speed of light which was c in air, it gets reduced in that medium by which factor? By the refractive index times factor. So you may write, it means that the speed of light will become 3 by 4, because 4 by 3 will become 3 by 4 in that medium. Then the speed of light, it will be reduced. Or you may write, the speed of light in air is 4 by 3 times the speed of light. In what is, it's an easier method to say, if mu is equals to c by v, then you may say that c, velocity of light, is mu times velocity of light in that medium. Velocity of light in air is mu times that velocity of light in that medium. That's it. Next comes the numerical problem based on the refractive index formulae. Refractive index mu is given. Calculate the speed of light in water. Water's refractive index is given. Speed of light in water is asked. Speed of light in vacuum is given, and it may not be given. You should always learn this value. So you simply use again the same formula, c by v. C is given, mu is given, v you will calculate by substituting. Next is refractive index of water is 4 by 3 and that of glass is 3 by 2. This problem we have already solved while discussing the theory. To find the refractive index of glass with respect to water, you just put the values of absolute refractive indices of glass and water in this ratio and you will get the answer. Next problem is orange light's wavelength in traveling in air is given and the speed of light in air is also given. Refractive index of water is given. Now you see what values are given: lambda in air, speed of light in air, which may not be given also, and mu of water is given. Only 3 values are given and he is asking you what is the frequency of light in air. So frequency, wavelength and lambda, it has got a relation. Wavelength and velocity, it has got a relation, that is c is equals to f lambda. Now when you know c, when you know lambda of air, you can find frequency in air following this formula. Second part is, what is the speed of light in water? Now speed of light in water can be found by this formula. You know mu, you know c. Now you may find out v. Again the same problem. Third thing, he is asking what is the wavelength of light in water. Now you have two choices to find out wavelength of light in water. One is your shortest formula, that wavelength of light in a medium is equals to wavelength of light in air upon the refractive index of the medium. This is a fine way. Second method is, you know that frequency of light will not change in water and air, it will remain same. And you know now what is the lambda of water. You don't know the lambda of water. You know what is the velocity of light in water from this point. So you may calculate v is equals to f lambda. What is lambda? That is v by f. Seventh problem you may leave. No need to do it. Eighth problem is based on your understanding. He is telling you that a glass block is suspended in liquid like this. It is given, the figure is given. And he is telling a beam of light is incident from liquid to glass like this, in this direction. You may draw it dotted and you may draw a normal over here. Now he is asking, draw the diagrams. He is asking you to draw the diagrams for two cases. Light is going from liquid to glass, then back to the liquid. First case is if the light slows down in glass. Slows down means the glass is denser than the liquid. Then if it is the incident direction and you have drawn a normal, then glass is denser, then light should bend towards the normal. And then coming from glass to liquid, it should bend away from the normal. You should always remember that this is a glass block. It's same as that of rectangular glass slab. So the emergent ray you should draw parallel to the incident ray. Second case was when the light speeds up in glass. Speeds up in glass means glass is rarer, denser to rarer. It should bend away from the normal. So it is the incident direction, it should bend away from this direction. And coming out again, it should be parallel. So this is how you draw the two diagrams. Next condition he is asking, state the two conditions under which the light ray passing from liquid to glass travels straight without bending. What will happen? The two conditions, you know, always these are the two conditions. Either it fall normally or the refractive index of both glass and liquid should be same. And then he is asking, will the glass be visible? No, it will not be visible. Glass will not be visible in the liquid if glass has got the same refractive index. Next example is the diagram shown. Two parallel rays are shown. One is of red color, one is of violet color, and they are falling like this, parallel falling on a glass air glass boundary. You have to complete the diagram showing the refracted ray from them in the glass. Now you know that violet bends more than red and glass is denser, so both have to bend towards the normal, but violet की bending आपने ज़्यादा दिखानी है. Then how do the speeds of rays differ in glass? This you have to tell that speed of violet will be less than that of red. Are the two refracted rays parallel in glass? No, they will not be parallel because bending of violet is more than that of red, and you should not draw parallel rays over here. How does the refractive index of glass differ from the two rays? Refractive index for violet is more than refractive index of red. This should be the answer. Next question again, no need to do because this topic is not in syllabus. Now after going through all these examples, you have to solve all these questions. You may solve it in book also, and any diagram based question you should draw in the notebooks. Thank you so much.